bros. We gotta have a one-on-one chat with every single one of you guys in here, right? Hopefully you guys get that reference. If not, that's okay. But let's get into it. Why haven't I been posting? What's gonna be the future of this channel? All that stuff, right? Main thing, why haven't I been posting? Finals just finished for me. I am graduated. I am officially, I officially have an education, apparently, according to the United States, I guess. Which was cool. I enjoyed college. It was sweet. Finals were rough. I really should have locked in for my last year. I was so over it. Didn't really try nearly as hard as I should have and did in the past years, which I do regret. That's kind of my only regret with college. I didn't really do anything crazy. I was pretty low key, I'd say, and for the most part just stuck to my studies, I think. Yeah, nothing I wasn't a partier, none of that stuff. So maybe I was lame, right? But that's done. So why haven't I been posting? Well, obviously been moving. With graduating comes getting new jobs, taking care of your own stuff, moving around if you're moving around, all that stuff, which I've been doing. But I also have a kid. Yeah, that's not a joke. It's serious. I'm being serious, yes. Can't even stop smiling because I am extremely happy, extremely blessed. Thank the Lord, realistically, that I was given this opportunity and this chance. It's difficult. It's very difficult. But yeah, that's the reality of it. That's the truth. So how does that affect these things? And essentially, what's the future of the channel? All that stuff. So explain that reasoning. Now I'll explain what the future of this channel is, and maybe even go into some background. So first and foremost, what is the future of this channel? Am I going to stop? No. That's the short answer. The longer answer is I'm not planning to, and there's going to be, it's a no but, if that makes sense. No, but there are some exceptions slash rules slash things that change how things have been going for this channel. First and foremost, I plan on continuing to make a video pretty much as often as possible. Ideally, once a week is great, and I want to essentially make my videos better, but I have less resources, less time, less money, less everything, essentially, at this point in time. And also there's a couple things that come before YouTube, realistically, and I think this is how it should be for everyone. First and foremost, I need to always put God first. For those of you guys who don't know, yes, I try to essentially be into my faith as much as possible, right? I'd be lying if I said it was perfect. I definitely have made so many mess ups just like everybody else. But at the same time, I'm just trying to get better every single day with that. And I mean, I say that, but I actually haven't opened my Bible in a week, or it's been a little bit actually. So I need to get right onto that. But this is what I'm saying. So that's first. And the second thing is my family. So my kid and then my girl, obviously those always are going to come first before YouTube, in terms of if I have more important things to do than record a video or edit or this, that, and the other, there will either be no video that week, a delayed video that week, or a video that's just not edited as well. And those are essentially the stipulations for me continuing to make videos. Truth is, I love this. I started this for probably essentially the wrong reasons, but then kind of fell into the right reasons, realistically. So I'll be honest, I started this because I was just I want to get a sponsorship from a company. I want to get sponsored. I want to look sick. I want to, be big, be shredded, all those things. I want people to look up to me. And when I thought about it like that, after posting for a little bit, I realized how selfish that was. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish, but there was more in-depth reasoning and more internal reasons that essentially when I looked into them a little bit more, internally reflecting, I felt that those were more prevalent and more something that I cared about more than getting sponsored and looking a certain way and this, that, and the other. Like at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I don't want to get sponsored. I don't want to look sick. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that either. But because those are things that I do essentially want, but that's not the main purpose of this. The main purpose of this is the whole reason I essentially started in the first place. I didn't want to have any regrets. When I made my first video, it was like super embarrassing. You know, I was actually in Germany recording. I had my tripod like way over here. I was like always looking if people were seeing. And at the end of the day, it took me getting over my fears of caring what people thought about me, especially strangers, right? Strangers in a different country. Like, you see what I'm saying? And like, I was nervous, like so nervous doing this. I was like lifting, like looking, like if people looked at me, I was like, felt like nervous and felt really weird about it. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I feel perfectly fine just recording all the time. No, I don't. But I do my best, and I definitely have gotten exponentially better about that. So that's one reason, right? I wanted to kind of kill that, but also the second reason, which I mentioned prior, and that was the main reason, but flip-floppy. You know, first reason, I'll just recap. First reason is because I didn't want to really care what people thought. And the second one is because I didn't want to have regrets. When I wanted to make videos, you know, my phone storage got full, so I'll recap. But essentially this is like, I didn't want to have regrets about, you know, starting YouTube. I didn't want to think when I was 50, man, I wish I could have started YouTube and gotten better and like all this other stuff, essentially, that like, I didn't want to have that regret. That I would have felt like a loser. I couldn't feel like I could tell someone, go chase your dreams, you know, when I never even tried to chase mine, essentially the way, you know, that I wanted to. And I haven't done this perfectly. No, not at all. I've missed so many uploads at some points. Like, there's a lot of times where I was just playing Minecraft instead of making a video, and like, I won't say I really regret that, because, you know, that was still precious time. I got to spend time with friends, even if it was like online or like not in person. But you know what I'm saying. Like, I'm still glad that I've done this and got to experience life and not made this like such a priority that like everything revolves around this. But I do see how if you do make this your life, essentially everything would revolve around that. And I don't want to say like that's something I don't want to do, but at the same time, like, I am a pretty private person in terms of like my own life and this, that, and the other. So I don't truly branch out and talk about a bunch of things or show a bunch of people that don't really want to be in videos and stuff, just because I don't want to, you know, impede on their privacy. And also just like, I don't really want people knowing a bunch of things about my life, in terms of, because there's so many negative, bad people out there that like they'll essentially try to like ruin things for you just because they see that you're doing, or just because they see or think that you're doing better than them, and that makes them upset. You know, that's why, like, you know, when people would ask me why I don't post certain stories or this, that, and the other, how come you don't take pictures with these people or this, that, and the other, it's just like, or post them. And a lot of it came down to, I just didn't want people, you know, ruining what I had, if that makes sense. Like, I don't ever want to deal with that. So I try to keep my life pretty private, and that will still stay the same to some extent. I'm not going to put my kid online or my girl online, especially if they're not like wanting to, but my kid's like super young, so I'm never going to do that shit realistically. This channel is about me and lifting and a couple other things that kind of go around with that. Some nutrition, some this, some that. I'm not a pro, but I'd be damned if I don't say I'm trying, right? But I can now say that I have tried to chase after my dreams, which is why I'm not stopping, because I want to continue, because I enjoy this. You know, I was 10 years old recording my screen, playing Call of Duty, trying to hit trick shots, and it was terrible. But I wanted to provide entertainment, and like, I wanted people to be like looking at that video and be like, oh, that's cool, and this and the other. So like the entertainment, and now at this point, education purposes, they're like a very fulfilling thing to me. And so when I was really consistent with uploads and I'd miss a week, I'd feel terrible. Be like, damn, I'm the worst. Like, I'd get down on myself, which is why I'm having a little bit of grace, but at the same time, like, there was also times when that came from laziness, and that's where it's not important. But my point is, like, I need to dial in, essentially, and cut those things out, because there's going to be a lot of other things that would essentially take away from my time from recording, editing, and there are things that are essentially a little bit more important to me, a lot more important to me, right? So I'm going to continue this, but the stipulations is just the editing, all that stuff. It's not going to be as good. Now, I don't really know where I was going with this, but I told you guys like why I started this, and I really, when I started this for the wrong reasons, I was just like, oh, I want to get sponsored, this, that, and the other. But it comes down to essentially like, I want to inspire people and do it for the right reasons. Realistically, the world has gotten a little crazy and this, that, and the other. And maybe this is like a field that essentially disappears, or for like jobs, but I can still do it on my own free will and just to do it. I don't want that to change essentially, and so that's something I'm happy about. That's not changing, but I also don't want like, to say that like I don't want sponsorships or like people to, try and, because I'm doing well for myself in terms of a amount that I'm producing, don't want people to like, oh hey, try these supplements for free, or stuff like that. Like protein, dude, if I can cut my protein costs, that'd be sweet. If I never had to pay for protein again. Just saying. So, Pharaoh, Gorilla Mind, even Bum actually. Those like my top 3 as of right now that I've only really tried. So hey, if you guys want to sponsor me, let me know. You guys, here's my Instagram. You guys can DM it. Get back to me in like 3 to 5 business days. Anyways, what I was saying is that like that stuff would also be great, but it comes down to trying to change things and live out my life the way I want to. So I brought in God and my family and this, that, and the other, and it's just like, if I'm trying to live a better life, like there's always going to be some people that say, being self-absorbed with your body and this, that, and the other, it's like goes against that. I totally understand. And for those people, I'm saying some of it is and some of it isn't an act. Some of it I'm having to get over myself and be like, oh yeah. Because realistically, I look like shit. Like, I'm not some crazy ripped, fucking 6'2", 240 pounds, lean sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, is that unrealistic? No, it's not, because you can be that. It's just all in your mind, right? And that's what I'm saying. Can I grow my height? Maybe not, but I can, grow these damn lats, grow these damn arms. And I have to change that. I have to do my part on the shitty internet and the thing that this fitness industry, I hate that people even call it that, has become, because it's just people shitting on other people, telling you the way you lift is wrong, the way you this, the way you that, like, oh, you're not tall enough, oh, your lats are this. And objectively, if you're bodybuilding, yes, but like a lot of people forget what the main reason is, and it's just being better than yesterday. It comes down to, are you going to be better or worse than yesterday? It always comes down to that. And that's like, if I can change that, if I can inspire you, if you can watch my video and be like, fuck, I'm being a lazy ass today. I watched this video, I have to go to the gym, or I have to do my cardio, or I have to do this, or I have to do that. If I can do that, I'm making a difference for people. And that's really what matters. This will always matter to me. It's always important to me, which is why I can't essentially stop. I have to continue going and continue doing this. And obviously there's some obstacles, and I say they're obstacles, but I love those obstacles to death, realistically. But they are like things that are going to be pulling away from my time with this, which is why I just have to be so much better with my time, better than I ever have been, just to put out what I've been doing, if not a little bit less. But I'm still going to continue. But I really just want to change, people's perspective. I want to make people go back to the good era of like, aesthetic 2016, this, that, and the other bullshit that you guys want to call it. I just want to make a positive change in the world, like for whatever reason, God blessed me with like, maybe not the best eyes, but I can see, and I can see even that like the way the world's heading is not the way I think it should, in terms of like how people should treat each other and this, that, and the other. Obviously, there's always going to be the fake ego persona and this, that, and the other. So kind of remember that, but at the same time, like if you're being better than yesterday, you're doing it right. That doesn't come with just, lifting. It comes with so much more stuff. Like, there really is a lot more to life than the gym. If you miss the gym to hang out with your friends, and it's not like some continuous thing, but it's like one of those things, like, dude, there's nothing wrong with that. People are going to always tell you that. And I'm not saying don't be obsessed. You can be obsessed, but like, also take those moments for granted, because now looking back on it, I didn't, and I probably wish I would have. That's probably one of my regrets for college, is like not hanging out with my friends more, because I would rather just go to the gym. And I just am thankful that they didn't see me too much more negatively, probably. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, getting a phone call. I'm gonna wrap this up, but I love you guys. This isn't gonna stop. Be better than yesterday. I'm pointing at you. You have the power to change the world, right? It's all here. Factually, I could. Just like that. That's the way you gotta think about it. I know it's a TikTok sound. I know people are gonna shit on you. People are gonna hate. It doesn't matter. Things are gonna take time, but the time passes anyway, and you don't have haters if you're not doing something right. I'd rather be someone that's hated on than does the hating. Go change the world, but do it through yourself first. Change yourself so you can change the world. God bless.